Hello and welcome to the Berkcast, the How to Train a Dragon podcast. I'm your host, HC, and with me are...
Rush 2112.
And Wolf.
And I guess you could say that today's episode has been in the cards for, I don't know, a year, maybe even two by this point, because you probably heard us talking about potential spin-off ideas for this franchise, like stuff that could be made after Hidden World is released. Well, the time has come. The movie has been around for technically more over 2 months, closing down on three. I personally saw it 4 times by this point. What about you guys?
Still the one.
Still once. Yeah.
Well, your the firing letter is in your mailbox, but before it lands
Oh,
in
really?
your mailbox,
Okay. I'll see you guys never then.
he actually left, just so you know, so that the joke would actually maybe work on someone. But anyway, now that we've all seen the movie, it's been around for a while, and we know this is the final chapter in Hiccup and Toothless's journey together. We are left with a question of what would happen if DreamWorks decided to make a spin-off in some form or fashion. So today we are putting on our pitching hats and we are going to pitch as a few How to Train a Dragon spin-off ideas for you guys and see where can DreamWorks take this franchise. So my first question to you guys is, what characters in the franchise would you focus on? Would you choose to make a spin-off about existing characters or maybe new ones? What are your thoughts? Who wants to be the first?
Should we do a thing where we just kind of like, instead of like saying the characters or stuff like that first, maybe we just kind of put the idea out there first?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
You said
also
we're
works.
pitching, so let's pitch. Let's be
Yeah,
pitches.
let's pitch.
Anyway, I have great idea. All right. Hear me
Oh
out
boy.
here. Have you ever heard of the Bizarro world in Superman comics? Everything is backward.
I heard the name. I'm not sure what that world is though.
It just means it originated in the Superman comics where things were backward. So we have Piku and Dirtsa, and they're and they have to. They are. This is a story of dragons fighting for their freedom. We come in and they are being ridden by humans, and then they fight back.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. I have a few questions. One, since this is actually just the one question as of now, when you say that this is a backwards world, is it by any chance that the Vikings start off as friends to the dragons, and then thanks to one person they become enemies?
You said you had questions. I didn't say I had answers.
Somebody didn't think his ideas through. I see.
I'm just kidding. I just wanted to say that.
Okay.
No, my idea is that it wasn't a perfect Bizarro world. It was where they just started. We didn't really get any. We didn't get any idea of if it's friendship or not. I kind of actually took it as it's the exact opposite, as where they're being ridden. They're being not necessarily treated as slaves. Some are treated nicely, but they fight for their freedom. This is for the dragons. So it's a focus on the dragons, actually, but forgetting the actual names of the people just backwards, because I kind of wanted to say them backwards. But
Okay.
so this is from the dragons' perspective, and of course, with the rescue riders, apparently we're getting that. But this one is taking it to the not the dragons' perspective and their everyday hijinks. This is your standard Dragon Revolution movie series.
Okay, fair enough. Wolf, what do you got? I think I know that answer, but
Oh, sure. I want to hear what you think I have then. What do you think I'm going to say?
Nothing.
Dagger and Heather?
No. We already
Oh,
kind of got the answer. We already got the answer to that question, so there's not much point.
okay.
Actually, an interesting idea that I don't think anyone would actually go for. Bork the Bold.
Hmm.
A much wilder version of the archipelago, as we see Bork the Bold travel around doing, learning about dragons and accidenting himself into the solutions of different problems for people and dragons. Could be a fun show.
Okay.
Prequel is always fun.
Yeah.
And then there's always the idea of DreamWorks live action remake.
No.
HC, if you don't want to agree on this, then I don't think we can. I don't think we can continue the episode.
Like, so you want a terrible CGI Toothless with Will Smith's face?
No.
Thank you.
No. We're not doing Disney live action. Oh well, I guess that is. I was considering. I thought you meant the I thought you were gonna go with Lion King, where it's CGI live action.
CGI live action.
Yeah. Don't you want a photorealistic Hiccup?
Oh no. Hiccup's played by an actual human being.
Oh.
It's just the dragons are CGI.
Okay.
CGI with mix of live action.
Yeah. So.
Hey, how about this? What if they used a mix of CGI and special effects with the same people who did the animatronics and special effects of Jurassic Park?
That'd be good.
I don't think you guys appreciate how well Wolf might. I don't think you appreciate how good the animatronics and special effects of the first Jurassic Park are.
No. The first Jurassic Park is amazing, okay, and the special effects are one of the most revolutionary of all time. There's no, there's no debate on that, okay? Jurassic Park is a classic. What I want to say, considering past experiences, and I know that it's Disney, not DreamWorks, but I don't want How to Train a Dragon to be simplified and just give it and just assume, well, people know this story, so let's remove all the emotion and all the stuff that make it good from and throw live.
I think you don't have to worry about that. Comcast already does it anyway.
Fair enough. I think you're just biased.
I think he is.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what? You know what I think HC is really holding out for? Live action Frozen.
This is the last thing I want, okay? Because you know something? We got a live action Frozen. It's called the first half of season 4 of Once Upon a Time. And you want to know what else? It's shit. Moving on.
That's a show that doesn't have a big budget. Not the same thing as an actual Disney movie.
That
Who
really
cares
just
about
wants
the
to kick
budget?
you in the
The story
nostalgia.
sucks. The story sucks. The characters suck.
Well, that's just because you're a man,
all
HC. You don't understand sisterly bonds.
So how come did I enjoy the movie and I still protect it? Huh? And
Wait,
why
I'm
am I
sorry.
excited for the sequel?
Your context of saying it sucks wasn't very clear. I didn't realize. I thought you were talking about the movie, not the TV show.
No. I'm talking about the Once Upon a Time adaptation that they did. No, I like the movie. I still love the movie.
Okay.
Which is why they need to remake it in
live action. There you go.
Yeah.
CHC, this is what Disney's doing. They're remaking the live action because you love the animated version. Clearly, it's the next step to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you take one of my favorite characters and put Will Smith's face on it. Like, thank you for the nightmares. But what the hell are we talking about?
Have you at least seen the full? He's not like that the whole time.
I don't care. Seeing this once traumatized the hell out of me.
I'm interested in the Aladdin live action remake, but anyways,
this is
another
Berkcast, not the
Okay, you know what? To try and
freak out about Disney's business
let's
reasons.
bring it. Yeah, let's bring this back
one
to
other
how
idea.
Actually, before the ideas, let's go ahead with the live action thing. Who would you cast to play Hiccup?
Jay
We've already kind of talked about this.
There's none other.
I don't remember, so
We did a
refresh my
live
mind.
action. If I'm not mistaken, we actually did a show on.
Yeah,
on
we
live
probably
action.
did.
I did.
Yeah, actually we
Probably we did.
I
well, you two
I
maybe.
still
I can't remember if I did it.
Okay. So we did this. Go back to that episode if you want to see our answers, which I myself might have to do because I don't remember. Moving on. Wolf, aside from a live action remake, what else do you got?
Well, I said the Bork the Bold idea. One other thing I
Yeah,
think would be
Bok.
interesting is following the Wing Maidens and Atali.
Okay.
I think that could be an interesting show as well.
What about the Defenders of the Wing?
Nah.
Okay.
Okay, so God help me,
Wait,
I have three
wait.
ideas. Okay,
One last
I'm
one.
waiting.
I'm sorry, HC, if I stole one of your ideas.
It's okay. It's okay.
So, well, two. Okay, because you're talking about other characters. You know what, HC, I'll wait. I'll save one in case you have this idea. But I want to see Alvin and Stoic. And then they're
Like a prequel.
Yeah.
Like a prequel.
Their
The Falls of the
fallout,
Cannon.
basically how the fallout happens.
That's interesting. That could be good. By the way, we know that there's probably a fan fiction for every idea we bring up. Okay, so
yeah, there's definitely fan fiction. Wink.
For Bork the Bold, yeah, obviously. That's most famous of How to Train Your
Stoic
Dragon
and Alvin.
People have really written out Bork the Bold.
Okay, so
The boring.
here I came up with three ideas. Two for existing characters, one entirely new thing. So the first one, again, speaking of fan fictions, I actually kind of wrote a fan fiction about this, and we read it here on the show. I would really like a Valka spin-off.
Plugs.
Wait, it has a point. So I would like to see a Valka spin-off. However, if you remember that fic I did, which was an origin story, I would like to see like the Valka in the at some point in the 20 years after she was taken by Cloud Jumper and before Hiccup found her, some kind of a mid-quel in that sense, like show her in living with Omelette and the dragons and freeing them and stuff. That's the first idea I have. Two, I would like to see more, maybe like a conclusion to Scribble from the Dawn of New Riders game, because as we talked about, that story was never really finished. It just stopped. And the last idea I have is it doesn't focus on any of the previous characters. It's actually set years after the Hidden World. And we'll probably get to this one a bit later, because this is the one I haven't thought the most about. I'm just have a rough idea, and maybe you guys could help me develop it. We'll see.
I'd only help you develop it if I was invested. Sorry, but I can't give you
so
money to make this show. I'm out.
Okay, so sure. Like I said, you only saw Hidden once. The leather is on the way.
I require 50% up front.
Yeah.
And then a
I'll
75-25 split.
I'll take the other 50%. Well, don't worry. We'll both take the 50.
And then after it airs, and it actually does fairly well, a 75-25 split, 75 in my favor.
And 25 goes to me.
Luckily, you guys need to argue this with yourselves. I'm just standing on the side and eating popcorn.
But you're the one who's posting it. We're basically stealing money. If you want, you heard it here first. While we're taking his money, he will be sitting and eating popcorn.
Yeah, because I'll steal it back later.
No, HC. In a court of law, this is admissible.
Well, anyway, the idea of what happens after the Hidden World, here's the idea I had. So generations passed. It's not about Hiccup and Astrid's kids, as some people might think. Like, it's generations ahead, and people are just accepting the fact that the new Berk is Berk, And there are stories about how the Hiccup Aranda Sadek III was the chief to create this new Berk. But as time goes by, and stories are being twisted and stuff, it also seems to be a rumor that Hiccup is the man who banished all the dragons from this world. After years, who's going to really prove it otherwise? So, but one day,
serious? Because if I remember correctly, when we did the Viking celebratory, like holidays, my St. Patrick's Day was about Hiccup. Years down the line, they think that he banished the dragons.
Oh, okay. So this,
St. Hiccup's Day.
So this is a pure coincidence because I actually forgot. Sorry.
You subconsciously remembered that, and now you're trying to pass it off as your own idea.
I'm interested, but only if I get 100% of the profits.
Okay, fair enough. You get 100% of the profit. So
100% of zero is still zero, though. I shouldn't have agreed.
Well, at least now we know Rush is invested in the idea. He threatened he won't.
Yeah, because it's my own idea.
I know, that's the joke. Okay. But on a serious note, I actually did forget about it. I'm sorry. So this is not my idea anymore. It's Rush's. So Rush, since it's your idea, what would you do with this plotline? Like, what would happen?
Well, I mean, my take on it was that people are just using it as a holiday. There's no individual people that are like, oh, this is the real truth. There's no secret society and all that. But it would be interesting for young protagonist A to accidentally stumble upon the hidden world. And of course we don't know what will be guarding it, if any dragon will be guarding it, but they find it and then it begins.
Okay, my thought was that someone like comes across some of Hiccup's old writings, and he's like, but if he's so knowledgeable of, according to this, to what he finds, Hiccup was more about training dragons and being friends with dragons, so it makes no sense that he's the one who banished them, and there's like a quest to find out what actually happened. That's what I thought would happen with this, but
that's also
and then I got stuck.
That is less interesting.
Well, let's see.
You
maybe
don't have to give us the whole story. Usually in pitches, you can tell them like, here's the beginning, and then you just try and hook them in. If they ask what happens next, it's like, well, give me money and I'll tell you what happens next.
Yeah, I'll bullshit my way into something that hopefully works.
Yeah. If you ever see movies that have a great beginning and a horrible ending,
as someone who was actually in an actual pitch a few days ago, maybe it's a different kind of thing, but they do require an end goal. Like you're supposed to hook them on what actually happens in the end.
But they don't care about the middle details, which is why, as I say, some movies have good endings, or good beginnings, horrible middle parts, and they have an ending that they were trying to get to. I didn't have that part in there, but I can see needing the ending.
So what would be the ending to this thing then?
It'll be a cliffhanger to the next movie, because you know what execs like? Sequels and trilogies.
Yeah, and then the movie bombs, and then there's no sequel.
Sequels and trilogy.
Okay, fair enough. Well, so we all brought up our ideas. So now my question for you guys.
Well, I still had the one that I thought you were gonna say. Back on characters, the Grimborn brothers. I mean, those were some of our favorite villains. Why not get their story?
Yeah, that could work. So let's add this to the list. So now my question to you is regarding the ideas we brought up. Would they be a movie, a show, or something else?
Well, I done said both of mine would be shows.
Yeah,
you could probably do like books, maybe, but either book or show, I would say for mine.
Show.
The Grimborn brothers. Do you go with show? I think a show works better
Yeah,
for
I
this.
think, well, for mine, which is usually character driven, I think those should be shows. Spin-off
I mean, you
shows
could do that.
are, well,
Like I think for mine, for like character driven stuff, you can sometimes do books, but yeah, like show would probably be better, even for mine too. Especially like for the Bork the Bold one, I would like to see that as a show.
I
Yeah.
could see
It's
the
Holly one,
Grimborn
the
brothers
one.
being like Diary of Ego Grimborn.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty
you
cool.
could do that.
Mhm.
And like for the Wing Maiden ones, like I would like to see that as a show, but it could also be done as a book as well if need be
Mhm.
or wanted.
Okay. So each one of the ideas I see something else. Like the Valka thing, I see working better as a show because you can do a lot more with it. For Scribble, just make a sequel to the game. That's really all. Let the guy have his own thing. He was introduced in a game. Keep his story and going in a game. And for Sate Hiccup's Day, as Rush said, I see this work. I think this could work as a movie. What do you think?
I could see
Rush?
that as a movie.
Okay.
It's How to Train Your Dragon, or How to Find the Hidden World is what it will be called.
You know something?
At least my take on it. Yours, I don't know. How to discover
Maybe
the truth.
maybe keep the How to Train a Dragon name in there because it is related.
There will be a
somewhat.
stark lack of training dragons, though.
Well, honestly, let's be real. How much training do they do in the Hidden World?
Well, the dragon's already trained by that point.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you want? How to Train Your Dragon? Hiccup goes to the dentist or something?
Okay, I have no idea how you got there's less training in the third one. To Hiccup goes to the dentist.
I'm saying, like,
is really
they make
impressive.
you keep the title for. I mean, I know it is extreme for Hiccup goes to the dentist, but
How to Train Your Dragon, Hiccup goes to the dentist. You know something? I think he will have to train Toothless not to kill the dentist because he will cause Hiccup way too much pain.
not if he gives him some shoddy first, and Hiccup is all drunk. We've seen plenty of fan fictions like that.
What? Hiccup goes to the dentist and Toothless kills the dentist?
No. Shit.
I can just see Hiccup with all the in his mouth go, Tardas, plasmada.
Not again, Toothless.
Toothless, that's the 5th month this week.
Yeah, Toothless, you rapscallion. Stop killing people. It started with your dad, and then I got a taste for the blood.
I was mind controlled again.
Yeah. Did you hear what I said?
I just heard Sean Connery's voice. Can you repeat that?
Said, it started with your father, but then I got a taste for blood.
Oh, shit, that's dark.
Toothless is the villain.
Yeah, may I remind everyone that Toothless character sells the most plushies and merchandise, and honestly, my Toothless merchandise is staring at me quite funny after Rush said that, so I don't know. Especially the pop figure with its big eyes. So, Wolf, what do you have to say about Hiccup goes to the dentist?
Nothing. Have fun.
Hiccup has tooth disease by Wolf.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. So, what kind of plot elements or progression do you guys see in your ideas? Wolf, you are the man of the ideas. What do you see for Bulk in your spin-off?
For the Bork the Bold idea, like it would be, in my opinion, it would be a much wilder archipelago since it's definitely set in the past, like during his time and everything. And it would be him learning about all the different dragons and everything and going around to all the different islands, and you see like what these places might have looked like before Race to the Edge and How to Train Your Dragon and all of that. And he'll meet different people and different dragons, and maybe he'll solve problems that those people and dragons might have, not in a way that trains the dragons or protects the dragons necessarily, because he may not see them as friendly or anything of that nature, but he will, like, take Defenders of the Wing, for instance, right, as a great example. They depend on the Eruptodon, was it?
Defenders of the Wing, yeah, they erupted them.
Yeah. So they depend on them to eat the lava from the volcano so they can continue to live on their island. Maybe that's an idea that Bork the Bold stumbled upon, right? Like his big thing is he's very accident prone, he's very clumsy, so most of his solutions are very much he accidented himself into the solution. Definitely a more lighter tone with a lighter take, more comedic, more than likely.
So that actually brings up the question: you are going for a comedy. So how many seasons do you think this is actually going to hold? Because if the entire show is essentially Bork misunderstands dragons and messes it up, do you really think it could hold a lot of water for more than one season?
Well, see, this is the thing, right? Like for this one, I think this would be great as a small animated series that you do like just a bunch of one shots with, like, here's a show here's an episode that's like 5 minutes at most.
So like a mini
Stuff like that.
series.
Yeah, a mini series, maybe a web series, something like that. New
this
Age
could be
Media,
fun.
HC.
Yeah. I was about to call it Bork Mania Adventures, referencing a web show that I'm very fond of.
Yeah, I think that could be a lot of fun, like a small side thing like that. That does
actually, now
more
that you
comedic
say
thing.
it, considering what I compare this to, would you want to see this with dialogue or just silent?
I mean, I guess it depends what you want to go for. I'd say dialogue.
Okay, fair enough. Especially because it's a franchise that kind of needs dialogue, but at the same time, I would like to see maybe just Bulk, no words, and seeing how this is also a franchise that relies a lot on show don't tell for the most part, and have a lot.
Oh, go ahead.
There are a lot of scenes which are just characters' expressions and actions telling the story. So it could be fun to see like Bulk actually learning the dragons and completely missing them. But it's just his actions. He doesn't actually speak necessarily.
I mean, we definitely already had, right, like the Bork the Bold thing and the and Legend of the Bone Nepper, right? And a lot of that
and also Book of Dragons.
Yeah, that as well. And a lot of that was, silent, right? Like a lot of that was like for the Book of Dragons, like getting to see Bork, learning about the different dragons and stuff like that. A lot of that was silent on Bork's part, besides sound effects and like grunts and stuff like that, right? Like there was no actual dialogue and all of that. And you could probably continue to do stuff like that, and it's just fun, and you just see other human characters as well. And like you see the problem and what it's presented as, and then just see him kind of accident himself into a solution for it. Could be fun as something small like that.
Yeah. Okay.
As for the
Wing Maidens.
Wing Maidens one, that one I would definitely focus on Atali and the setting up of the Wing Maidens, probably, and whether or not she was the first or not depends, right? Like, but it's very much seeing how they, were cast out from their tribe or what have you, and how they took in other girls as well, and how they kind of started, and how they go around helping people like themselves as well as dragons too. Could be fun. Probably a bit more of a somewhat darker tone, maybe.
Actually, one thing I'll question you on something, because I like an idea I just thought of. Would you like to see a spin-off about what happened to the Wing Maidens after Toothless took all the dragons to the Hidden World?
That could be interesting. But I mean, did he affect any of those dragons? There's no way to like know that for sure, I suppose you could say. Hello? Am I alone? HC? I mean,
yeah,
HC's
I don't know
died
what
on
HC happened. Right as I come back, HC's dead. Oh, 1 second phone call because he's on mobile. God, he just like he loses his computer, dies one day, and he just refuses to go back on his computer.
Unprofessional.
Unprofessional. Yeah, totally going to the door for me where one of my apartment people was telling something that was going to go on. And I don't know why it took him so long to get the point across. It's like, hi, you've been here for this amount of time. Just wanted to let you know. It's like, just get to the point. Of course,
Welcome to
can't say
the
that.
south of the U.S., where everyone is extremely slow and loves to talk.
Well, in Texas, we just say they're friendly.
Meh.
Most of them are. Like, I'm not going to be mean to them and say, bitch, get to the point. I'm just going to say, oh, okay.
I would.
I mean, I could have acted a bit more...
I'm a grumpy old man, though.
Yeah.
So I'm just playing up the part there.
I could have acted a little bit more urgent because I am in tank top and sweatpants. It's like, I mean, I guess she did understand that it was, it's 10:30 when 10:40ish when she came by, but whatever.
I like how this is the conversation we're going with as we wait for HC to come back.
Well, yeah, I mean, we should, hey, you know what, when he gets back, we should be, and that's all for the Berkcast. Just to screw with him, yeah.
He can't hear us right now, so he has no clue.
Not, yeah. What were you guys in the script, by the way?
We were doing the potential plot elements.
Oh, you're still on one? Okay, good. So I didn't really miss too much there.
Hi, can you?
And
I'm
that's
back.
all
Can you
for
hear
this
me?
week of the Berkcast. Yeah, no, we're done. All right, see you guys. See you next week, Wolf.
Yeah, see you next week.
Yep. Oh, come on. Wolf should have left too. You left me hanging, Wolf. Should have left too.
Okay.
I should have.
Okay, I'm sorry about this. People find the worst time to call, but anyway.
How could you leave at a time like this?
I'm sorry. When people call, Discord goes on the phone.
Then you
get a Discord that's not on your phone.
And I'm sorry, Mister. Someone's at the door.
Thank you for finally picking up on that joke. But
yeah,
I digress to the original point, which Wolf and I were really off topic about.
Last thing I heard is I did ask Wolf about the wing maidens, what would happen if Toothless took all the razor wings with them to the hidden world, and that's when the phone call got in the way. So can I get an answer, or am I too late?
You're really late. We finished the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the love of God, it's not funny, okay?
It is to me, and that's all that matters.
and then they say says the guy who claimed many times that I'm the only one who laughs at my own jokes. So yeah, you are laughing at your own jokes too. Hypocrite.
I'm laughing.
Yeah, Wolf is laughing.
So he laughs at my joke too, sometimes.
Rarely.
Fine, whatever. Let's move on already. You see?
It's not laughing at your jokes. It's laughing at your pain, if we're being honest here.
Yeah.
Well, pain is... all comedy is based on misery. Pain is misery. Therefore, it's a joke. Therefore, he laughed at the joke. Therefore, let's move on and close this thing. Come on, where were you guys?
Anyway.
I mean, we was right where me and you left off.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I guess my ideas. So, Valka's show, like I said, Valka will be a show. And in terms of what the show will be about, I think in terms of the first season, it will most likely be her trying to live with the dragons and understand how they behave, how they walk, and and she'll pretty much try and gain the alpha's respect. That will be season 1. It will end with the alpha actually accepting her, and when she starts she starts helping out in the when she sees wooden dragons and stuff. That will be the first season. Second season, now that she has the alpha's trust, she intends on keeping it, and she actually starts finding more dragons to bring back to the nest, and that's where she starts coming across dragon hunters. Some will be familiar faces, like Vigo and maybe Vigo or Drago's goons and stuff, and eventually this will go on until maybe with a few jump skips until the day where she meets Hiccup, and How to Train Your Dragon 2 picks up.
Wolf is automatically out because he always complains about passage of time in shows.
Well, who said I'm catering this towards Wolf?
You said you were pitching it to us.
Yeah, I'm pitching it. What about you, though? And everything Wolf says.
I can never agree with you, so I'm gonna have to say no.
It's not about individual thinking. Do you speak it, Rush?
I'm not a sheep, so I do think for myself. Thank you very much, HC.
So why do you talk about what Wolf thinks then? I didn't ask Wolf, I asked you.
In fact, you... Oh, shit. Raining. Anyway. No, it's really loud. It's like right against the window. Anyway, might be picking this up and recording, but it's nice. It's calming, unlike my voice. But no, I actually, if we're being honest here, and I'm not antagonizing you, which is very rare. It's very interesting. It's just not what we're looking for. No. After I said I was being honest, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to go with all of like my stereotypical like people responding to pitches. And stuff. No, I do like the idea. Yeah, you don't. It's just not what we're looking for. It's like, it's great, but can we change one tiny thing? No.
Yeah. Yeah. What is it? The entire concept?
Yeah. I like the characters. I just hate the story. I like the story, just not the person who is telling it.
Oh, something? I could bet a lot of pitch meetings go on like this.
Yeah.
I would bet.
Right.
Okay.
So I think that's interesting, actually. Yes, and as a show, I could definitely see. I wonder how they'd work the time skips into it. Like, would they? I mean, if they're doing a show, would they like end one season, or like, let's say they make 2 seasons in this time zone, and then I don't know if it's going to be a one-off like comment, or they'll say like 5 years later across the bottom of the screen. It's kind of weird how you would do time skips of such a great capacity like that without, because usually you wouldn't do them. You'd either do them in between seasons. You definitely wouldn't do it in the middle of a season, right? But you would do it in between seasons, and just like leaving it up to say, well, nothing happened in between those couple of years. I mean, it's one thing to say like, oh, this happened over the course of 6 months and we haven't seen.
Yeah, because like on any other thing, but then again, let's think realistically. There's no way we're going to. There's no way a concept like this would last for 20 seasons. This isn't SpongeBob or The Simpsons.
Well, you don't have to do say 20 seasons. You can. I'd say a healthy skip is maybe a year or two. What 6? You do 6, and that's well, yeah, you're right. 20 seasons, 20 years, 10 seasons. You can. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe 3 years. You could probably skip 3 years. Heck, they sort of did that from Riders of Berk to Racy Edge, but it was a separate show, I guess, at that point.
And you can always do a one-episode intro, you have your first episode, and then
I am lagging out.
You are very, very robotic.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was just
we
me.
Both are.
Okay.
No, it's on my end too. Like
Discord. Oh, thank God. Ooh.
Oh, I think it's fine.
It's good now. I'm green again.
Okay.
No, so yeah, actually, Wolf, that's a great point. So you get the intro episode of like her getting taken away, and then like you kind of do a time lapse of her getting to know the dragons a little bit, and then you skip forward like the next episode is like 3 years later or something like that. That's one way to do it, I guess.
Actually, it does remind me because there was it's a soap opera, which is a completely different genre, but still the point will still stand that the second season took place 3 years after the original. Even though in real life this was the second season came out like, I want to say a few months after the first one, and yet the second season was all of a sudden 3 years ahead. And so, whoa, okay,
The
sure.
new Berk soap opera, The Young and the Flightless. Hiccup, I'm
Yeah,
pregnant.
sure.
With whose baby?
And Snotlout's the father.
Yeah, and Snotlout's the father. How could you do this to me, Astrid?
And then it's just 30 seconds of Hiccup and Astrid staring at each other with dramatic looks.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, time skip between seasons then is not something that's unheard of. Even even if we take out the Defenders and Race to the Edge parallel. So yeah, that's for Valka. Scribble, I really have nothing to say. Just it's something. For like I said, for that Hiccup banish all the dragons thing, this will be a movie. Not in my eyes. The question is, what exactly are we going to do with this movie? Are we going to, because I think the best thing to do with it for as a concept is to just keep it a one-time thing, not make it a part of a trilogy, our Star Wars. Just give it its own thing, and not necessarily even continue it. Just do another story in this world. Question is, how can you really finish this? Like, would people just accept the fact that continue to think that Hiccup banished all the dragons? Would the truth come out? Like, what can happen with this thing is probably a really open question. We can have an entire episode about. Question is if this will ever come to fruition, what would the guy writing it think?
I mean, obviously, you don't have the truth come out until 5 movies in.
Mm-hmm. When it's a single piece of paper signed HHH3 that just says, "Yeah, dragons were our friends." The end.
Somebody tore that part of the page up.
Yeah, now you have to figure out who would want to keep that a secret. Dun dun dun.
Toothless.
He's still alive.
No, Snotlout.
That
was going to be the exact same person I said too.
But Snotlout is dead.
No,
because
he's not. He's kept alive by spite.
By the dragon roots. He found out that the dragon roots are actually an ingredient to immortality.
He was trying to impress Valka, but in the end, he ended up giving.
All a thing of capitalism. Snotlout wanted to stay alive and keep the dragons a secret because he needed more dragon roots, and if they came back, he might lose the dragon roots and therefore not be able to sell them anymore. All full circle. All full circle.
HC, this is way better than anything you could have pitched. Well, I'm willing to give you
$2 and a shoestring. I can do it on that.
I have $2, but it's a potato chip instead of a shoestring.
We'll make it work.
Awesome.
Thank God I'm not living in America. I can take part of this deal because no dollars.
If you were in America, you'd probably drive to our place and slap us both.
I would have probably done this years ago. I think starting with like episode 20 something, I would start driving to.
I would have done it after the fish legs episode. What is wrong with you?
Me? You are the one who started it.
I'm just saying, like, in general, that's what you would say.
Oh. Like, just me landed in your door. HC, what were you thinking?
Yeah. What were you thinking having me on your show?
Yeah. You were too late to join, but that's another topic for another day, I guess. So, just to close this off, what tone would your spin-off have? What tone do you see for each of the spin-offs we brought up? Wolf already said that the bulk one would be a bit more comedic than what we're used to. in-depth answer, as you can see. What tone do you see for the Maiden spin-off?
Probably a bit darker, maybe, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Depends, I suppose.
Yeah, well, like you said, if we are going to find out why they were banished from their own tribe, this could lead to some dark stuff.
A darker but more hopeful tone, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would be
So-
for the Grimborn. I would go with pretty dark, almost Games of Thrones-esque.
Question is, how much does it work? Because considering the fact that I was about to say Grimo, fuck. Considering Vigo and Riker don't necessarily kill the dragons, they just sell them. How would a Game of Thrones tone work for this?
Well, I mean, you can't catch a few dragons without breaking a few legs.
Fair point. That isn't that
Fine.
could work.
How about
Okay.
Godfather tone? You come into my office. I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse.
The Mafia version of How to Train Your Dragon. I would watch that.
Yeah, I was about to say, you know what? I would watch the hell out of that. I would start a different podcast just for this. This would be awesome. Anyway, for Valka, I don't think it will be such a different tone from what we have now, because honestly, would you choose a different tone for a show about a woman living with dragons who saves dragons? Would you make it any lighter or darker? I think what we have now is the perfect tone for this.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the same goes for that Generations Ahead movie. Maybe a bit more mystery oriented than the others, because the other movies didn't really have a mysterious atmosphere to them. In this plot, okay, in the case of this plot, mystery and a bit more uncertainty could actually work and benefit for this. So that's what I have to say.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So for once we agree on something regarding the spin-offs. And anything else to add to the topic before we close the pitchy meeting?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so Jeffrey Katzenberg, talk to us. Our numbers are at your email. Give us a call. We'll be happy to do this.
He sold DreamWorks. Why are we even talking to him anymore?
Start a new company with us. We'll make millions.
To dragons anymore, so
Doesn't need to. We just make it our own thing. We slide in there like it's similar. It's dragons, but it's not dragons, quote unquote.
How to Train Your Wyverns.
Yeah.
How to Train Your Producers.
Spiritual successors is what we'll call it.
Yeah, sure. With all that said, that's been it for this episode of Berkcast. We hope you enjoyed. What spin-off ideas do you have for the How to Train Your Dragon franchise? What characters? What format? What anything? You can tell us all about that in the comment section below. On our Tumblr, where we are known as Berkcast Team, on our Twitter, where we are Berkcast with a capital B, capital C, and you can find and discuss all of this with us on the How to Train Your Dragon Valhalla Discord server. So until next time, I was HC.
I was Rush.
And I've been Wolf.
And we will spin off with you later. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.